Welcome to Phoenix Rising, Flight to Success, the podcast that takes you on a journey through stories of triumph, growth, and achievement within Lenoir County Early College High School. Join us as we explore the soaring spirit of our Phoenix community, where students, educators, and alumni spread their wings and share how they are reaching new heights.
All right, welcome back to our inaugural edition of the 2024 Phoenix Rising Flight to Success. We actually started this in August with this same group, and I figured it was a good group to start our 2024 time. We've had 12 episodes, so this is our 13th episode. And so today we have with us Principal Mr. Steve Saint-Amand. We have Miss Belinda McGinnis and Mr. Kelvin Greene. And they're going to talk to us a little bit about the upcoming application process and applying for the early college, because we've had quite a bit. Mr. Saint-Amand, you want to take us off with some of the stuff that you've experienced?
Yes, sir. We're very excited. We're well into the flow now of what we're trying to do here at the early college. And for next year's class, we have been to all 4 middle schools. We did that last week, went to Woodington, Frank, Contentia, Savannah, and Rochelle.
And that seemed to go real well.
Everything went very well. They're always very open to us, and the administrative teams are very supportive. And could I be more pleased with that and everything? We thank them all the time for just allowing us to come into their homes and so forth, to allow our students to speak, to allow us to come in and speak. But we have met at all 4 schools. We have had our first parent night. That was last Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. here on campus. And we have one more next Tuesday on February 6th. And then we'll have completed the process. Students will still have a few more weeks to be able to complete their applications. They're already coming in now, and we're very excited about the ones we've already seen come in. But they'll have until the 1st of March, to get their applications turned in. We'll go back to the middle schools in mid-March for interviews, and roughly right around Easter time, we'll select the next year's rising freshman Phoenix class, and be very excited to do so.
So you talked about the applications, and I know some of the students in the other podcasts that we do had talked about the application being a little bit daunting. And so, Ms. McGinnis, would you share with them about that 500-word essay that they got to write? What are we looking for?
Sure. So they are given 4 topics that they can choose to write from, and 500 words sounds daunting, especially to a middle schooler. But when you really get in there and start writing it, if you're writing from the heart and writing about what your experience is, that 500 words goes really quickly. So it's not as bad. And what I've heard from some of the applicants, even for this year, is not as bad as they thought it would be. And speaking of the application, we have changed it up a little bit this year. So we have an online component where students can go in and start filling out some of the demographic information. Cool. And that helps us on our end to kind of be a little more efficient and quicker in being able to go through the applications. So we're excited about that piece.
So and we were kind of joking beforehand about the using AI, and we're really, if you use AI to put out into, give me a baseline, give me something, but we really want who they are, and that's what we're looking for, because this is a unique school. So, Mr. Greene, you all 3 go to the other schools and do the interviews. Mm-hmm. So what should a student expect that gets an interview? What should they be expected to do?
So with this being my first interview process, just in talking with Ms. McGinnis, talking with Mr. Saint-Amand in previous years, we really want students who are thoughtful with their interviews. We want students who are well-rounded, but we don't even look at the applications until after we do the interviews. So we really want to give everyone a fair shot. We want to give them an honest chance at, hey, bring your A game to the interview. We want to see what their responses are. We'll ask them questions that'll tell us a little bit about their resiliency, not only as a student, but also as a person, as well as who they are. We want to get to know the students in the short, brief time that we have. But we also want them to be their best. We want everyone to be their best selves, not like me just then.
So when we were talking about that, and you both have been on the interview, Mr. Saint-Amand and Ms. McGinnis, why do we want that? I mean, and this is real life, right? We all have to interview at some point for a job coming up. What is the expectation? Why do we do this?
Well, I think, first of all, it is a life experience, and that's what we're teaching here. Everything about that is we are preparing young adults to be ready to be a full-time college student on day one of their junior year. So we have to compact everything. We have to have everyone be better, quicker. And a lot of that is the speaking component is something that's very difficult for most of the young people. And at the same time, we want to hear what the young person has to say, not what someone has told them to say with their parent or a teacher or somebody right around. We want to hear what they are when we want them to be relaxed. We want them to let their hair down, so to speak, and everything, whether they have any hair or not.
Well, I might have a problem with that.
But we want them to be able to do that and just to feel comfortable when they're talking to us. And because, again, we're not asking everyone to come in after we look at their application. We're not asking everyone to come in to be the perfect student. But we do want to be able to look at someone, talk to someone, and get that vibe that, hey, that young person is going to give us the very best they have of themselves on a daily basis. And those are things we can find out. It's important to be able to, you can explain, maybe write on a piece of paper this type of stuff, but it's important to be able to sit there and say, well, hey, I see that you brought up the fact that maybe you had a discipline issue while you were in the 7th grade. Well, let's talk about that. Let's explain why anything. There's reasons for things happening, anything, and so forth. We don't want someone to feel like, or maybe I didn't do well in a math class in 7th grade. Well, there may have been legitimate reasons for that and everything. So to be able to have that opportunity, to be able to face-to-face have a conversation with someone about 15, 18 minutes allows us to be able to get to know that person and be able to put a name with a face. And again, it just goes a long way in helping us in the process of being able to select who our next year's students population is going to be.
Ms. McGinnis, you've been doing the interview process for quite a while. Are there some standout interviews that, not necessarily the students themselves, but just what you remember that they kind of brought to the table? What are we kind of looking for?
Well, the ones I feel like that stand out the most to me are the ones that are unapologetically themselves. They bring their personality into the interview. I remember I had one interview at a time told me that a prank that she did on some of her classmates and just kind of really showed her personality, and I could really see her fitting into our environment. There's not one specific thing that we look for at any level. It's more a holistic approach to who we're looking for. So when I can sit in an interview with somebody and see them in our environment based on how they're behaving or how they're talking to me or the way that they're answering the questions, that helps me feel more comfortable about saying yes to that student.
Sure, and I think that's one of the things that I look for as a teacher is how students are going to interact with each other. If I see something, now we got an eclectic mix of students
Yes.
here, and that's good because that's learning. And one of the things I love about our community here is we represent the demographics of our area pretty well.
Very well.
And that's really been kind of neat to see. But at the end of the day, they need to be able to work with somebody. And so, I know for me, I love to see students that are willing to learn, are willing to listen, to engage with their environment. And so those are all things that we're looking for in a student, to be a Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as that parent night coming up, Mr. Greene, you want to talk to us about the parent night? What's the expectation? I guess February 6th is the next one?
Yes, sir. So we'll have our next parent night on February 6th. That'll be in the administration building auditorium. That'll be right at 6 p.m. So our parent night is a culmination of the presentations that we did at each of the middle schools. So the parents will get the exact same presentation that we gave to their students already. Students who want to come back, who may have more questions, who maybe didn't ask a question at the time, they'll have that chance to do so. But one thing about the recruitment night that I think really stands out is we give them the chance to take a tour of the school.
Okay.
And I think that gives teachers just a 2-3 minute time span where the teachers can actually talk to the potential students. They can see what the classroom looks like. And a lot of students towards the end of the tour, they come back, oh, I can really see myself in this school. I can really see myself enjoying Dr. T's classroom. Mm-hmm. I can really see myself enjoying Mr. Jenkins as a teacher. And I think that tour really provides a sense of home to some of the students. And it also gives them a live look in at kind of what the school is, how the school is shaped. We have 4 corners. We just recently added that 4th corner. Yeah. So they get to see, okay, this is somewhere I could see myself succeeding. I could see the small classroom sizes being a factor. and they just have a chance to walk around and see what the building looks like, get a feel for the different instructors, get a feel for just the staff. And I do think it's an awesome time for our staff to display themselves. We've got a great staff here. Everyone's friendly, above and beyond. Parents can ask different questions, whether hey, my child really struggled in math. What do you do special in particular? How would you help my child? How could we focus on tutoring? Things like that.
Okay. So as we start wrapping up, what is one thing that you might want to explain or tell to a student that's contemplating just like, man, I don't want to leave my school because I got the benefits, and I'll share first, but as an economics teacher, it's all about choices. It's all about trade-offs, and we've been really hitting the past couple days in my class. Hey, there's the next best choice. So what are you giving up, the opportunity cost that you're giving up to come to here, and is the trade-off worth it? And in my opinion, it is. Yeah. But there's some cost to that. It's going to be tough. It's a different environment. We force you to grow up quickly. First thing in my class is I say, I'm going to treat you as an adult unless you prove me otherwise. Right. And that is, to me, one of the best ways that I can show my kids, hey, this is your life. This is your journey. And I want you to succeed, but you're going to have to put forth the effort. So what's something else that you might be willing to tell the student that may be on the fence on this one? Mr. Saint-Amand?
Well, I would start out by the first thing I tell every time we go to any of our other schools and we have meetings with the 8th grade students, and same thing we have on our parent night, the first thing I will stress is there's no bad choice you can make. I'm not about to sit there and pour mouth the traditional high schools or anything such as that. I want them to know that that is an outstanding option for them. However, we are another option, and that I do believe, now that I've been here 3 years, coming from the traditional school setting, that I just believe here now I've been here 3 years, that I just feel like this is an outstanding opportunity for those that choose it and are willing to accept it. Obviously, we're looking for first-generation graduates, first-time college graduates. If we, that is certainly a primary goal. Obviously, we're a very diverse group of people and everything at this school and everything, which I'm very proud of. And, that we come from all throughout the county and so forth, homeschool, private school, public school and so forth, very, very pleased with that. And we want to make sure that they understand that they don't have to make you don't have to be an A student, right, but you've got to be willing to give an A effort. Right. And because there are no elective courses, everything is math, science, social studies, and science on the high school side, because we're getting ready for day one of your college year. On day one of your college year, whenever you're a junior or anything, you're taking nothing but college courses. However, we also tell them now that every one of our freshmen, regardless of whether you're a top student, someone that took math and or English 1, someone that took earth science, world history, whatever, got all those high school credits in 8th grade, or if you've taken, or you're someone that hasn't taken any, we're going to get you at the same place at the end if you accept the challenge and you accept the want to be here. Yes, you've got to give up the fact that we do not have athletics. I sit there and stress that all the time. Athletics played a major role in my life for many years, whether I played, coaching, ADing, and all that kind of stuff when I was at South North. However, I also stress to them, you got to look at the big picture. You can play AAU, you can do things on those lines, you can do competition cheerleading on the weekends, whatever it may be. And we have some of those students who do that, those others that choose to go to other schools for athletic purposes. We understand that. But if you want to come here and accept that challenge, this is a phenomenal place to be.
Excellent. Mr. Greene?
I would tell everyone, don't let the decision be made for you. So I was speaking with a senior this year. She was applying to colleges today, and she was kind of weighing the pros and cons. Mr. Greene, I really want to go to East Carolina, but I'm thinking about applying to App State as well. And I was telling her, well, if you don't apply to App State, that decision is made for you. That's right. Oh, wow. So we don't want students to get in that predicament where they don't apply to the early college and then that decision is made for them. So if the early college is even a possibility, I'd love for you all to apply. I think that it's a great opportunity. I think that it's a wonderful place to be. I think the staff is amazing. The student body here is great. I think that it's just an overall great opportunity. But I also believe that we do a very, very good job of walking our students through everything together. Now, we're not holding their hands, but we're walking alongside them with their journey. When they're figuring out how to balance the college life and the high school life, we're walking with them. When they're trying to figure out how to apply to these schools, we are walking with them through these things. So never will they ever be alone. Never will they ever not have the tools in front of them that they need to succeed. So don't let the fear of what the early college may look like keep you from applying, because otherwise that decision is made for you. And at the end of the day, I want them to be able to make their own decisions, whatever that might be.
Great advice. Ms. McGinnis?
I think one of the concerns that a lot of students have, especially those who grew up in Lenore County Public Schools, is the fact that they've been with their friend group since kindergarten. And friends are very important to a growing student. But don't let that be a reason to not apply as well. You'll make friends. Mr. Saint-Amand pointed out how we are very diverse. You're going to meet people from all over Lenore County, and I don't think we've had a student yet that has not found their friend group. And even some surprising who they become friends with. But that is also something that we care about as a staff, is to make sure that the student has their social needs met as well. We, on our weekly schedules throughout the week, try to provide those opportunities for students to be social, to make those friends, and hopefully friendships that last a lifetime. So we care about our students holistically, more than just the academics, but those social issues as well.
That's awesome. And I mean, these are all great reasons to apply. And if you still are in doubt, we invite you to come to the February 6th meeting. And just real quick, before we finish out, let's make sure that we know our dates. February 6th is the date for parents. Applications are due by when?
March 1st.
March 1st. Then we will have the start of our interviews when?
Mid-March.
Mid-March.
And we'll go to each individual school and do the interviews at their school.
Okay, great. And so what about those that maybe aren't in, maybe at a private or a homeschool?
If they're a private or homeschool, then we'll set it up for them to come out here and interview here at the college.
Okay. And then we should know a final amount.
Whenever we'll know that, we'll make those decisions and have people will be sent information the week of Easter.
Okay. And do we have we have a cutoff? Unfortunately, we have a lot apply, and that is a fact of life too. Unfortunately, we do have to turn students away. We had to turn probably about 20 last year.
I actually turn away of almost half, over 50.
Oh wow. Okay. So I mean, but that's really cool in one sense, but it's also. And it's not the student that's going to have the highest grade or everything. It's going to be the student that we feel fits the best here.
That's right.
And that's important as well. Before we end, I do want to make sure I give a shout out to our mini grant individuals at the I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on the downtown Kinston. Yeah, you're drawing a blank too. My brain's
Bright Ideas?
No, not the Bright Ideas, but the mini grant from with the spelling bee. And anyway, my brain is, and I'm the civics teacher, and my brain is going out. Anyway, we got the spelling bee coming up for them, but that is one of the ways that they raise money for us for our county, and they actually provided a $500 grant. Mini grant for the table that we're sitting at, and some of the extra podcast, the chairs. Do you like these chairs? These are nice, yeah. The table actually goes up and down, so we can do different things with it. But anyway, we wanted to make sure that we shouted them out, although I can't remember the name. That's my bad. It's what I do for a living is brain farts and all that kind of stuff. So on behalf of Lenore County Early College High School, we would like to thank you for soaring with us on the Phoenix Rising Flight to Success podcast. We encourage you to check out more of our episodes online. Remember, rising from the ashes like a phoenix is not just a metaphor. It's a way of life. Stay Phoenix strong.